here. The subway density in this part of town is probably good enough that we can get away without the buses. So, time for the flyover. Alright, so this area right here is sort of the original town. It's all a bunch of low density residential and commercial. And then our original industrial complex, the first windmills, and that sort of became our pollution and dumping ground. We have all of the landfills here. We used to have a whole bunch of sewage pumps here, but we decided to be a little more environmentally responsible and replaced those with a bunch of sewage treatment plants. And we also used to draw our drinking water from here, but we decided, since all of our industry was here and the sewage was here, that we'd draw our drinking water from the other side of the lake. So we've got sort of our main expressway here. It's just a 6-lane roadway, but it leads down to the south where we've got a bit of a forest and the university. Let's have a look at the university. The university isn't even close to half capacity, but I think we might need to upgrade some of our schools. So we've got good elementary school coverage, and our high schools are nearing capacity, but otherwise we're very well educated to the point where, let's see, to the point where a lot of our industries are having trouble finding workers, and the ones that have workers, most of them are overeducated. Now, if overeducated means that they have like a bachelor's degree in psychology and work in a box factory, I think that's okay. Like, I'm certainly up for people having a liberal arts education and then doing, working in tool and die or whatever they happen to like. As so long as that liberal arts education didn't put them into ridiculous amounts of debt. So having a nicely educated population, but then having them go work blue-collar jobs, that sounds just fine to me. All right, so we've got a whole bunch of lower density residential over here, and then a bunch of high density residential to the south, mixed in with high density commercial, and then a bunch of high density residential over here. Now, Stitchy asked if we've unlocked the dam. We have unlocked the geothermal power dam, so if we wanted, we could build one of those, say, up here, or maybe north of the rail bridge, since I don't want to wash the rail bridge out. Higher education, according to Stitchy, means that our citizenry will be willing to pay higher taxes, which we could definitely try. I mean, I'm happy with our current income levels, especially at maximum speed. But if we wanted, we could push the tax rate up a little more. Alright, and we also, at one point in time, this was my pride and joy, we have this train cargo terminal. And for a little while, it really brought a lot of new life to our industrial sector. Right now, industry is having trouble finding jobs again because our workforce is a little overeducated. But that's fine. And we also have a train station here, which I currently have turned off because no one seemed to be using it. And the upkeep per week was pretty high. We might consider dropping the train station in somewhere over here, relocating it to what I expect will be our main tourist hub. We've got the Science Center and the stadium here. I probably want to drop the Expo Center here as well, drop in some more high-density commercial. But yep, that's what we've got going on. Let's go and meet some more of the commercial demand with some more high-density commercial. We'll put that in right over here and by the police station, and maybe make this whole block high-density commercial. I should probably leave some space for some other stuff. Let's go and make a little road in here so we can drop a small park there. And what's the smallest park I can make? That'll be fine. Alright, so this is a plaza with picnic tables, and we'll go and surround that with some more high-density commercial. Alright, we're gonna leave some of this space to put in some new stuff. Let's go look at the noise pollution radius. Alright, so we can put some more high density residential in here, and there's also some more demand for industry, which we're using offices to cover our industry needs now, since most people seem to feel they're too overeducated for their blue-collar jobs. Alright, so, but first, the residential. Let's drop some high density. We can drop some low density around here, maybe. And this is fine for high density. Let's finish off these roads. And do I want to drop a park in the center? We'll just leave some trees there. And maybe a small corner shop. Alright, so most of the U is now filled in. We can drop some more residential here if there's demand for it, which there definitely is. So, let's see. We still have a lot of traffic here. Did our new subway system relieve some of that? Alex Bout09 asks if I knew that roads with trees reduces sound pollution. I do. I've got plenty of money, so all of the roads I built out are tree lined. Alright, so this bridge is still pretty busy, but it's not nearly as red as it was before we built out the subway. And some of this congestion is just this intersection here. And I don't know if that can be helped. I could maybe turn this into a triangle. That might help things. Let the people turning right just bypass the intersection. Let's try that. Will on-ramps work without a highway? Space already occupied. Just let them cut the corner? Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, a quick bypass. But they still need to wait. Either way. Well, if they're stopping here anyways, I can go, and maybe if they want to go north, they can get on the highway. No, that doesn't help either. Alright, well, we'll just leave that little cut corner for now. It doesn't look like the traffic's moving any better, though. Alright, we can leave that there. Stitchy wants us to make a roundabout, maybe even a 2-lane roundabout. Maybe later. Alright, but since this road's not busy anymore, I'd be happy to put in, divide that block a little. Let's go and put in a tree-lined street right over here. And right down here. Alright, now this is the riskier part. Do I want to risk adding another intersection to this really busy area? No, we'll just draw it out from the center and hook in over here. And bulldoze that little extra bit. Why can't these line up nice and grid-like? Alright, there, and good enough. Alright, and just in case I want to build out further in this direction, we won't zone any of that, but we'll zone the inner area. They still want more commercial and more residential, so we'll do high density. Well, let's double check the noise radius. Alright, so this area is a little noisy. We'll put some commercial in there. And then these guys can get away with being residential. Yes, yes they can. Yeah, we could definitely go for another direct route, relieve some pressure there. Alright, so let's look at the traffic flow again. We could... Oh, lots of abandoned industry. Let's see. We could do another bridge over on this side and then connect up to the city here. The problem with that is that the most logical place for that to connect up would be with this 6 lane. But the problem with that is, when we first designed this new city, I decided to make this a one-way U along the outside. So there are only off-ramps here. People come into the city, either from the east or the west off the highway, and then they're forced onto this one-way 6 lane all the way through the city again. Now they can turn off and go into the city, and on the interior of the U, there are bi-directional 6 lane roads. But that does mean that if we bring a bridge across here and connect it up, I guess they just go right into the city, but that might cause other traffic issues. It's still worth a try though. Let's do that. Alright, so a 6 lane bi-directional. Pause this. Can we bulldoze this without causing too much trouble? Let's see, what can we attach to? We can move the fire station over slightly, or the medical center, whichever, or whatever that is. Yeah, I'll just move you over slightly, and build out the 6 lane here. Let's see, too steep. What if we page up? Alright. Okay, so now we're across the roadway. Where do we want to hook in so far? We could, in overpass fashion, just cross over like this, but that would just add more traffic there. Maybe if we hooked up to this 6 lane here, it would require that we bulldoze some stuff. But in the name of potentially adding a solution to our traffic problems, let's go and bring this back down to ground level. Page down. Okay, so we can run this on the outside. Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. Like, we can start another 6 lane highway and then just have that run up the center and not bulldoze anything. I don't know if people will go for that though. They really want to get to the center of town as quickly as possible. Alright, we'll just go and hook into... Yeah, we'll go and bulldoze this region here. And we'll switch this over to tree lined. Lots of bulldozing required. I don't really like that. All those high density towers. We could hook in here. Let's see what the traffic looks like there. It's not terrible. Alright, fine. We'll just connect up right there. And we do need to switch back to tree lined since we are going to put some more residential stuff in eventually. Alright, so over this way. And over like that. Alright, let's see if this bridge gets immediate use. Rasko-Linkov. I'm definitely enjoying the game so far. And some more abandoned buildings. For a while, we had gotten away without these. Ooh. And I guess once we built out more offices, a lot of the Sims who felt that they were overeducated for this work moved to the offices, and then so we've got a whole bunch of shuttered industry and demand for more industry type jobs. So I think the only solution here is to transition more of this over to office jobs. Let's see, is there a section here that I can just entirely replace with office jobs? Probably this whole area. We should probably start with the areas that have the most abandoned buildings. We'll rezone this whole area. Alright, let's go take the D-zoner. This isn't the prettiest place to have an office, so my apologies to whoever ends up working here. We are going to go and rezone that as office space. It's an interesting place to have your office. It's by the water, you get to look at windmills, you get to look at a little industrial waste. You've got this really nice 6-lane boulevard with a nice curve. You've got the train going by, so probably more distractions that would detract from productivity, but I don't like seeing all these abandoned buildings. So Max, I am running this off of a GTX 660 Ti, which is a mid-range graphics card from 2 years ago, or maybe it's 3 years ago now. But if we want to see nice graphics, I really like zooming in and following things around. So like, let's follow those ambulances around. Where are they off to? Alright, so the ambulances are running into some traffic problems. Dropping off at this high-rise, picking up some patients, and racing back to the nearest hospital, which hopefully... Did I put a hospital at this end of the city? I don't remember. Ooh, but the traffic problems are really bad, especially when you've got an emergency going. Revolution says that he's seen that traditional industry can get to level 3 and gains a need for educated workers. Alright, how do I get my industry to level 3? Alright, so, and it does turn out that that ambulance picked up from our new city, but I guess we didn't have any medical in the area. Let's confirm that. What's our medical coverage looking like? Citizen happiness, health. Yeah, this end of the city needs a hospital. We've got plenty of healthcare capacity, maybe just a clinic. We can drop a hospital right next to the science center. That sounds like a nice fit. It's pretty expensive, and our current hospital, which is somewhere over here, isn't, well, it's more than half full. I guess we could build out a hospital here just to serve, like, most of the stuff here is high density, so it would be good if they had the hospital of their own. So let's drop that down right beside the science center. The doctors can do some medical research with the patients, with their informed consent, of course. And how are we going to level up this industry? So these guys... building needs to be covered by more surfaces to allow it to upgrade. These guys already have at least one subway. Yeah, one subway. They have fire coverage. There's no crime. They've got bus lines. What other services could they want? Fire, health, and death care. Well, we could give these guys their own crematorium. There's already a row of crematoriums somewhere over here, though, so we've got... Well, that's just an incineration plant. That's not exactly the same thing. Alright, well, we can give them a crematorium. That'll be fine. We can drop that right over here. No bulldozing required. Alright, so that made some people happy. A little more money, no level ups. A tweet from Julie Cook saying we are the most attractive city. I mean, like, these are some nice looking businesses, definitely. I mean, that's only a level 1. Let's check the level up status. Alright, so these guys are of a slightly higher level. We have a third of our industry at level 3. So these guys apparently require some educated workers. So they've got 30 workers and none of them are overeducated. So I guess, yeah, level 3 stuff. What sort of businesses count as level 3? Let's turn that back into the nice view here. So Aero Designs, Gourmet Fish Stick Facto, Eco-Friendly Company, Fine Fashions, High-Tech Gadgets. Alright, so yeah, these are some level 3 industries. We want to somehow encourage this end of the city to upgrade to level 3 as well. I don't know how we're going to do that. My landfills are full, and our incineration status is going down, so we're going to need some more incinerators as well. Alright, so where can we drop this incineration plant? Maybe the high-tech doesn't like working around all the pollution, all the dumps, all the incinerators. Maybe I need somewhere else to hide these things. Maybe we're like right off the highway. We can't build off the highway, you have to build that off a road, not off of an off-ramp either. Alright, well, maybe in here. I mean, this is my industrial zone. No, we should clump up all of the most undesirable buildings. Let's just put in another incineration plant beside the other incineration plant. Oh, and those offices didn't like that very much at all. Did I zone the land for high density? Can you? Well, for me, I only have one industrial zone type. I don't know if I can change that. We could make a road coming off the highway just for the incinerators. Alright, well, we got our new subway down. We got a new office complex down. Let's see if those guys are happy. Well, they're not complaining about anything. Yeah, they've got a smiley face, that's probably good enough. Being surrounded by industrial waste hasn't dampened their spirits. They're not having trouble finding jobs. That looks good. Planting trees around the landfill. That's a good idea. Alright, maybe some of these leafy trees. And where did my landfills run off to? Right here. Alright, so... Ooh, fall colors due to pollution and not season. Alright, so we'll just hide our garbage behind these trees. That seems sensible to me. And maybe stick some palm trees in there too. Parks in the industrial area. Ah, that can get us to upgrade. That makes sense. If people are working at the high-tech gadget lab, they'd probably appreciate some nicer surroundings when they eat their lunch or go for a walk. Or we could build out this transport tower. Ops building meant especially for public transport companies. I bet that would help us level up. Yeah, let's drop this somewhere. Like maybe where all these abandoned buildings are, where they really want jobs. Let's see. Where would we have nice space for this? Maybe right at the exit of town, right by the landfills. Seems like a bad move. We could put them in right here. Well, somewhere where we have a lot of radius that we're going to use. Maybe somewhere over here. Alright, let's try to improve this area. It's a bit of a ghetto right now. That does require us to bulldoze 3 things, unless get rid of that road chunk and put the transport tower right here. Maybe move that back slightly. Alright, let's bulldoze a few more of these. And then put the transport tower right here. Yeah, that seems good. Alright, let's see if that raises. It made a bunch of people happy. But we're not getting any level ups from that. Alright, let's give the workers in our industrial parks some actual parks. Plaza with trees. I am sure that would be appreciated. Let's drop that over here. And these office workers definitely deserve something nice for working around the windmills and the garbage dump. Let's see. Where can we drop this? Probably not by the incinerators either. We could get rid of... I don't think we should be bulldozing offices to put in parks. Maybe over here somewhere. Alright, fine, we'll put a park in there. Put a park in here. And maybe a park by these very scenic sewage plants. Yeah, a park down here would be good. Oh, we already have a park there. Alright, let's drop a park over here. Alright, so we've got this transport tower. We're hoping this will encourage a more advanced type of industry to move in here. I don't know if that's how that works, but let's see. We've got 13 visits and 2 tourists. It's a large office building. It is near the office area, so even if this isn't applicable to the more traditional industry, hopefully it'll boost the morale of this little office ring. Alright, are there any other special buildings we should be pushing out here? Lots of stuff at tier 3. This needs a population of 20... Wait. Weekly education expenses. Colossal Order offices. It's the Super Successful Games Company and a requirement for the Large Hadron Collider. Well, if we spent more money on education, we could build that out. That's interesting. And Stitchy's telling me that they care about leisure. That's something new that we learned, or at least that I learned here. Alright, office park. If we built out more office space, a courthouse. If our crime rate is over 50%, well, I guess I'm glad we don't have a courthouse. The Grand Mall. We need an airport. Oh, I think that's the next thing we're working on. We're growing our population to unlock the airport. Now, do we want to drop an expo center? Trade shows, requirement for the space elevator. I do like the sound of that. Ooh, and looks like our death care is getting away from us. We've got plenty of crematorium availability. How's our health funding? Our health funding is fine. Don't know why so many bodies are accumulating again. Well, and that is a lot of bodies. I guess we do need to drop another crematorium. Let's drop one right in the middle of this residential area. Or we can put, let's put a street down here, and we can drop a park and a crematorium. So, let's see. Nice tree-lined boulevard down the center. Not gonna bulldoze anyone's home. Space already occupied, so we'd have to run it right down the center, in which case there's no space for a park. Alright, we'll just put the crematorium down then. And we can put a park on the opposite end. Who doesn't want to play beside a crematorium? Alright, let's find a nice small playground. Does that fit? No, it doesn't. Alright, we'll leave that be. We need more hospitals. So far our city has 2 hospitals, and they're not at capacity. So here's one of our hospitals. We've got clinics spread around everywhere. This guy's only at half capacity. And this guy here this hospital has no patients. So I think we definitely don't need any more hospitals, but this end of town could probably use a graveyard and a crematorium. Let's maybe drop a graveyard in over here. It does take up a lot of space. Space already occupied. Occupied by what? I guess they're not liking the hill there. Alright, let's drop this over here. I don't expect a lot of people to be visiting the graveyard, so that'll be good just for taking up that space. And if this guy needs water, let's hook that up. Planned for future expansion. And we'll need, well, let's put a crematorium on this side of the map as well. Maybe one right over here. Alright, so that should take care of some of the death needs over on the south end of the city. And if we do want to grow our population, it means dropping some more offices and residential. So I want to keep this space clear for some more nice tourist destinations. We'll just leave that forest there, but we can definitely drop some stuff here. Looks like, do we want some more high commercial? I think so. And then some more offices we could definitely do with. Alright, so this bridge here is getting used. There's a bit of a traffic jam when they want to leave. Let's see, a lot of them want to turn left. Is this a one-way? No, they could go in both directions, but for whatever reason they really want to get down this way. The fact that this is a double intersection isn't really that good for us traffic-wise. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a hold up there, but we've relieved some of the pressure here. This stretch of road is still really congested, really busy, even though we've got a subway line covering that. And we also have free public transit, by the way. Alright, well, let's zone some more residential, some more commercial, and see if we can unlock that airport. Alright, so residential. We could put in a whole bunch of residential over here, or over here. Let's get started over here. And what do I want to do with this 6 lane? Do we want to widen this lane slightly? Make it a little wider. And then bring it down the center like this, with a block in the middle. Alright, let's do that. And then start continuing the U-shaped curve. And sure, Stitchy, we can go and plant some more trees to cut back on that industrial pollution. Alright, we'll build this out to here for now. Put that back in. And then we'll get started on putting in some more residential. Alright, which direction do I want to drop these roads in? We'll do the first one over like this, and then the rest will run down the center. You already have an intersection here, so we'll hook in there. Start curving around. Over to here, say. And we'll probably continue the 6-lane out down the center. And make sure this is hooked up. Alright, how many intersections do I want? We already have an intersection there, so it's not going to hurt to hook up like that. And maybe one more, or we can get away without it. I think we do need something. If it's just going to be residential, alright fine, we'll have another intersection, and we might regret that later. Alright, so all of this can be residential. Let's double check the noise pollution. Looks fine. Alright, so a bunch of high density residential. Tink is saying that trees don't reduce pollution, which might be true. At the very least, we can hide some of the pollution. And we'll squeeze in a few corner shops. These guys probably need a park. Let's see, before they settle too much, let's drop a park somewhere in here. Wait, are those offices? No, I want low density commercial, high density commercial. Wait a second, what's with this blue coloration? What did I zone here? Let's dezone that. What I wanted to do was low density commercial. That looks like a light blue. This, I guess I accidentally zoned as an office instead of low density commercial. Alright, that's fine. And in fact, let's make this whole strip into a bunch of low density commercial. More industry desired. We can put in a bunch of offices too. Maybe a bunch of offices to the south here. Let's see. This can be an office block. And then another high density residential, although the demand for that has gone down. So let's slide in some offices here instead. Now with this region right here, we could put offices in here. Trees are useful for limiting pollution apparently, but not for removing pollution. Alright, let's drop another bunch of high density commercial. And see if people will go and fill that stuff in quite nicely. Alright, so our population is growing. Let's finish out this U. Like that, and we'll hook in where intersections already exist. I guess it's good that we don't have an intersection there. The fewer connections, the better our traffic will be. But we can get maybe one connection to the outer ring. And I don't know, feels weird not to have a connection there. We'll do that. And we'll drop some more high density residential. Mix a little high density commercial. Or medium density, rather. And drop in a park. Definitely want another park here. Let's see, plaza with trees. Or a large playground. Alright, so right now we're at just 3 zones. We can unlock 6 more, but we're just expanding into 2 zones right here. We've gone a little into this region here, but mostly I bought this area so we could have access to the rail line. Alright, so that's all been zoned. We've got some more industrial demand again. We can turn this area into offices since, well, it's on a bit of a slope. A bunch of small offices. Yeah, that's fine. And we do need water pipes in this area. And Tink1000 is saying that with a mod, there's a mod already that lets you unlock 25 tiles. I think the reason they tried to limit you to, a reasonable city size is you can really put a drag on your system. Each of these people, all of these cars, represents this population number. And as your population goes up, more cars, more people, pathing between all their work, recreation, shopping. I think all of that's simulated. Obviously all of that's not rendered, but it's all simulated all the time. Whoa, and this building is absolutely covered in billboards. Let's see. Jubilee. Some sort of a crazy